taken on by Sidorov. Sidorov tries the shot, too high. But you could see the threat there. Inside to Ully, backhanded! Cole Ully, the first goal of the night for the Glasgow Clan.
Welcome to another edition of Clan Chat. Murph here, delighted to be joined by the man that leads the Glasgow Clan in points with 33 right now, tied for the team lead in goals on 17 as well. Cole, thanks for taking the time to join us. And Cole Ully, you have certainly looked good in purple this year after a year in Cardiff. Just talk a little bit about your time so far this season and how you've adjusted to life with a new club.
Yeah, I think it's tough moving clubs year in, year out, especially with how many new guys we had this year. But, I mean, the transition was pretty seamless. Management made sure everyone was comfortable coming in. So I've been having fun. The rink's great. Obviously want better results, but, we're working through it right now.
Well, we'll talk about results because, I mean, obviously that's what hockey's all about, wins and losses and goals and points. But, I mean, you've had a real successful year. I believe you had 13 goals in league play last year with Cardiff. You've already got 17 in league play in purple. You've got 6 in the cup as well. So as far as goal scoring goes, you've certainly been able to find the target and sort of be comfortable on whatever line you've played on, whether it was a Sidorov and Hurd combo or now you're with Finley and certainly Mr. McClellan loves to dish you the puck. So just talk about the line so far and certainly your own personal success.
Yeah, I think part of my game is being able to adapt. Last year, I kind of played with more shooters. And then this year, it seems like we have a lot of guys that like to pass. So kind of had to adapt my game a bit. And like you said, McClellan loves to dish. Finley loves to dish, and even Hurd and Sitter, those guys too. So, just try to shoot the puck more, playing with those guys and mold my game to just fit whoever I'm playing with,
That's a really interesting point because you just said like it's hard with new guys coming in. So the first line you started off on, Hurd and Sidorov, had never played a game in the EIHL. So you're with them, you found some success, and then you moved to a line with two guys that have never played in the EIHL as well, in Finley and McClellan. So were both those sort of duos leaning on you to kind of say, okay, like what's it like in Altrincham? What's the officiating like? You were kind of the veteran, and you'd only had 1 year in the league yourself.
I don't know. Those guys have been playing a long time too. A lot of good leagues. I know Hurdo was in the Dell, Tice was in the Dell, Sitter was in the Czech League. So when you get players like that, and then Finley, obviously his numbers in the coast are crazy. So guys like that, they know how to adjust. Like I said, they know how to adapt. And I don't think they really came to me asking me too many questions. But yeah, I like playing with all the guys. So.
I guess, as you said, they just said, you shoot the puck, we'll get it to you. So that's been on target so far. I mean, as far as wins and losses, the cup was certainly something that we went down to Nottingham, looked like we were prepared, went down the day before. Corey said, like, the preparations went well. It's just one of those things, isn't it? It's a game 7, I guess. What were your thoughts going down there? And what are your thoughts after that sort of knockout in the cup?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a huge game. We prepared, like you said, like it's game 7. That's a tough rink to go into, and especially the form they're in right now. I'd argue they're top 2, 3 teams in the league right now. Definitely tough, one of the tougher teams to play against. So we knew it was going to be tough, and I think they kind of came out better even off the first shift, got a few chances, and we were on our heels kind of the whole time. Hurdle got us back with one there, but kind of too little too late, and we just kind of been the story all year. We haven't put enough pucks in the net.
Sidorov actually said to me, it was a good point. You have to have a short memory, as disappointing as that is, and maybe thinking that, if we get through tonight, we could, get on a run to a cup final. You do have to have a short memory when things are good, and you certainly have to have a good short memory when things are bad, because you can't get too high and you can't get too low. I would imagine that was kind of the message.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season and there's going to be ebbs and flows. You've seen it with us. I think we started 1-9 and then we won whatever it was, 9-10 in a row, and now we're kind of back in the ebb. So yeah, you got to reset after a loss. There's nothing you can do to change it. You just got to learn from it. Corey always shows us video, and we do everything we can to find a way to win. And if it doesn't go that way, that's, if you gave it your all, you can look in the mirror and be satisfied, I guess.
And yeah, good point there a moment ago. So many guys have played in the Dell, guys with NHL, AHL experience, like yourself played in the American Hockey League. you have to have that short memory, and you've got to kind of rely on each other. Everyone keeps saying it's a really good room and there's good leadership. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's kind of we don't really have any rookies or really too many young guys, so it's kind of like leadership by committee. Everyone leads kind of in their different ways. Some guys are more vocal than others. And I think it's been good.
Talk about your career path a little bit. I mean, you played in Kamloops, and I remember competing at the Canada Games in Kamloops way back in 1993 in the Summer Canada Games. So, not to date myself, I'm a lot older than you, but Kamloops is such a cool place. Do you look back? I mean, I think you had 94 points there one year. Kamloops was an incredible place to go for a couple of weeks for the Canada Games. What was it like playing junior hockey there?
Yeah, it was great. Like I know when I got drafted there, it was kind of like, oh man, you're so lucky. I think like there, Kelowna, there's a few good spots where guys kind of tend to want to go to. So I was happy and I was lucky to play all 4 years there and no complaints. It's a great city. It's got the river running through it and I love my time there.
Great hikes in the mountains too. And if you don't like rattlesnakes, you might just come across one. Maybe not in the winter when you're playing hockey, but certainly when
No,
I was there in
yeah,
the summer months, I remember a teammate stepping off into the long grass to relieve himself and running out pretty quick after he saw a rattlesnake between his legs. So
yeah,
fantastic spot. If you've not been to Kamloops or if you've not been out to Kelowna and those parts of Western Canada, put it on the bucket list. The Dallas Stars take you in 2013. I believe it was 131st overall. We've got quite a Dallas Stars connection because I know Landon Bowes played a couple of times. Didn't Martinet get drafted by the Stars as well? There's quite a connection with the Dallas
yeah.
Stars.
Yeah, Marty was a couple years after me, so I'd seen him a bit at camp. I'd played a little bit with him in Austin. I think he was there, and then we had a little stint in Boise together too, actually, back in the day.
He's been a nice addition. I mean, I know he was sick around Christmas, and it seemed that the power play dropped or the penalty kill dropped a bit. When he's in the lineup, though, with that long body, Sidorov said the same thing. He's a really nice addition to the penalty kill, Marty.
Yeah, I mean, his length is just insane. You take into account his stick plus his arm plus his legs, he can cover half the sheet. So it's probably not that fun to play against, I'd imagine.
Face-off domination continues. Here's Ully. Ully in all alone. Ully with the shot. Scores! Puck to Twine. Oh, so fine. An early goal. Glasgow 3-2 hockey game.
You've played in the American Hockey League. You've played in the Allsvenskan, Slovakia. I mean, this hockey journey is wonderful. I've talked to some of your teammates about it, and win, lose, or draw, and whether you're scoring lots of goals or not, it's a really nice way to earn a living. Have you enjoyed your time in Glasgow away from the ice? Because you've played in some pretty cool cities.
Yeah, I mean, I've played in some great cities and I've played in some not so great cities, and Glasgow's on the good city side. So, yeah, I know my new fiance loves it and I love it here, and we're right downtown. We have a great apartment. Team takes great care of us, so no complaints. And yeah, I love the feel. I love the feel at the rink too. I think our fans create good energy for us, and especially on those Saturday games, Sunday games, they really fill the rink.
Let's talk about the Purple Army because rightfully so, they're probably a little bit disappointed that we're in eighth, but I think there's a lot more positives in the next 20 games than negatives. Talk about the Purple Army because it is a loud, boisterous crowd, and 9 goals last night. Well, as we record this, 9 goals against a Scottish rival in Fife. Must have been pretty loud on Pride night.
Yeah, it was loud, and they're pretty loud on Twitter too. We all see that, but like you said, rightfully so. I mean, they want results, but I mean, nobody wants results more than we do in the locker room. That's all we're focused on. That's our job is to win. So we feel their pain just as much, and yeah, but they still come out to support us, and even when we lose, when we are on the road or whatever, and we kind of applaud and wave to them, it's nice to see them up cheering. And, I just want them to know we're giving everything we can to win, and everybody in that room cares. So,
And congratulations, new fiance. You say. I hope you popped the question along the River Clyde or something. Not to don't give away too many trade secrets, but I hope it was
no,
a romantic moment that you'll always have great moments at Glasgow.
it was good. Yeah, no, we actually got out of Glasgow, but we went to the Abroth Cliffs just past Dundee, and I had a nice setup there with the photographer and stuff. So, not the Clyde River, but it was pretty good.
So you can score goals, and you've got a romantic side. That's great intel there. And your new fiance is off traveling right now. Glasgow's a great city, isn't it? You can get anywhere very quickly. And I'm sure that you guys, I know some of the guys were over in Dublin for a few days when they had an extra day off. So it's a great city for that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it's like 15 minutes to the airport. I was just there, so that's awesome. And you don't actually find that too many places, so it's pretty nice.
Corey and Mike Surratt, certainly two very different characters, two very different sort of career paths in their head coaching and assistant coaching roles. Uh, I think that's good that there's a little bit of difference in those guys, and even in their stature. They're two. It's kind of like the odd couple or whatever. But a lot of the players have been telling me they love the passion and the calmness, and there's a great mixture there. What's your feedback from the coaching staff? Because when I talk to them, you go in there and you have a talk, and you think you're going to be there for 10 minutes, but an hour later you're still talking hockey. They're still like kids themselves, aren't they? They just love the sport.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And I mean, all their experience, I think they're still learning, just like we're all still learning, no matter how many years you've played, how many years you've coached. And I think that's a sign of a good coach, is someone who's willing to learn and keep growing. If guys have stuff to say or comments, they take it and they listen, which I think is really important for a good culture. And I think that's what they're building.
And it's not your first time playing with Monsieur Nielsen. You've played in Germany, I believe, together or cross paths in
Slovakia.
Germany. So, yeah, Slovakia. So
Yeah.
he spoke so highly of you. He knew that you had a good season last year in Cardiff. Was that a big factor for you? We might have talked on an earlier clan chat, but knowing a coach and knowing what you're getting is so important if you are going to move clubs.
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest factors, having someone that trusts you, because every time you go into a new team with a new coach, you're auditioning. They obviously seen your numbers, but have they really seen you play? I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the way Corey coaches, and we already had that relationship built from Slovakia. So, yeah, it was a big factor in me deciding to come here.
Let's talk about the game against Fife. Obviously, whenever you score 9 goals, and you don't want to, it's not like you're showing disrespect, but we're a team that hadn't scored a lot of goals, so it's not like you're trying to run up the score. But we had 6 goals in the first period, and that must have felt oh so good for everyone on the bench, because when you're only scoring a couple, but you feel like you're getting 35 plus shots a game, but you're only getting a couple, to have that sort of the levy break, if you will, or the out goal, outpouring of goals must have been great on the bench.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I mean, I think we had 80 shot attempts against Manchester, and we went down 3-2. It's pretty insane. So I think we had 5 goals in the first 10 minutes. Um, it was just a great feeling for the whole bench. I think we got to take a breath there and be like, all right, we're good. Yeah, obviously Fife situation is tough, especially being shorthanded. I think they had 4D, which is kind of insane, but I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, they'd be doing the same thing to us. So it is what it
you,
is.
you can only play what's in front of you. We do feel for them because, like, if you've got a bunch of imports out or a bunch of guys that maybe left for different reasons, it's pretty tough. And I know that, you know, every team has its good points and its bad points, or its good stretches or bad pet stretches. They're in one right now. Feel for them, but we needed to get some goals. And you and I spoke off camera a little bit. It was nice to see Darian Kelb. He was a scratch there on the weekend. He comes back in, gets a couple of goals. Nice for your line mate Liam Finley, I believe. 2 goals in his last few games. So 4 goals over 2 goals last week and 2 goals last night. And coming into that, he only had 3 goals, lots of assists. So it's good for Finley to get going as well. So it's one of those nights that maybe will stand to us as far as confidence goes.
Yeah, I think Calvert's been working really hard. He's been working his way in the lineup. Same with Stife, and I think it was 2 minutes in, and he rips a shot onto the bar. So I think the whole bench kind of got up for that one. Those are like a nice boost for the group. And then Finley, I mean, he's been in the right spots, getting chances all year. Like you said, he's got a ton of assists, so he's creating tons of looks, whether he's scoring or getting assists. So yeah, it's nice that a couple went in for him, because he's been close a lot of times before that. So yeah, it was nice.
Most points among all the Clan defenders. Plays it into Sidoroff. Sidoroff with a little stop and go there against Brown. Leaves it for Ully. Ully's going to have to come outside the zone under the watchful eye of Ferguson. Ully decides to take it on himself. Ully's in. Ully scores! Done and dusted!
He does everything 100 miles an hour. Do you sometimes marvel at Liam Finley as he's just stick hammering through everyone? It's like action, man. It's crazy. 2 goals against Sheffield, I think 2 goals against Fife. When he gets that one timer going, he doesn't look like a guy that's 5'8". Like, he can absolutely rip that puck.
Yeah, he's got a nice release, and he's pretty fun to watch. I mean, I know when I was on that other line and I had to practice against him, it wasn't very fun, the way he kind of scoots around. So, Yeah, he's a special player. He's really fun to play with, and he's kind of got all the tools. Well, maybe other than size, but he's got the vision, the shooting. Like you said, his one timer. He skates really well. So yeah, he's a really fun guy to play with.
And obviously, him and Tyson know each other so well from their NCAA days at Denver. So they had that chemistry right away. And when you came onto that line, it just seemed to catch fire for all three of you. Did you guys have any conversations, or was it just like instant chemistry? Because, like you said, you started off really well. And you think back to Germany in preseason, that first line that you were on started off fairly well, but then you moved to play with the two Denver guys, and it really caught fire.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Just watching them in preseason, I think they're with Pelly and the way they move the puck around, tic tac toe, move to space, kind of. I don't know. It looked like it fit my game. I guess Corey saw the same thing. So I think that's when we were 1-9, and he kind of said, well, we got to change something up. So sometimes it's just nice to get a fresh look. And then Schwartz went on that other line, and he's kind of excelled there as well. But he's done a great job. I think he's got almost 30 points now. So yeah, I think that was a good call for the team, just balancing out the lineup.
Look at it. There's 20 games to go. A big weekend ahead. We've got Fife again at home, and then we travel to Nottingham with maybe a chance to kind of get revenge for that elimination game in the cup and go there and get a couple of points. It's got to be more positive because let's be honest, down the stretch here, we can still do something special in this, playoff run, fight for a better quarterfinal spot, and kind of ramp our game up. Because if there's any coach that knows how to get into good positions in that quarterfinal and then get to the playoff final weekend, especially when he was with the Nottingham Panthers. I mean, Corey Nielsen, that used to be his sort of specialty. So are you guys feeling like confident, especially after 9 goals the other night? Are you feeling confident that you can start moving towards that goal of maybe the playoff final weekend?
Yeah, I think there's lots of hockey left. It feels like it's late in the year because there's only whatever, however many weeks left, but there's tons of hockey left. And I mean, we've seen it all year. I think we won in Cardiff, we won in Sheffield. Like we've beaten these teams that are, the top of the league. So I think we have confidence. I mean, even though the results aren't coming, if you really watch the games, we're controlling the game a lot of the times. And I'd be worried if we weren't, if we were sitting back and getting hemmed and then flicking the puck in the air and scoring a bunch of goals on 2-on-1s. That's no way to win a championship. And I think when it comes down to that last week of playoffs, it's anyone's game. I mean, last year we were in Cardiff sitting in second place the whole year. We had beaten Sheffield a bunch. We had a great team, and then we go to overtime 3-on-3 and lose in the semifinals. So you never know what can happen if you can get into that finals weekend, and I think we have a chance.
Oh, 100%. And certainly Corey, he's going to tinker and maybe, like you said, he's not afraid to change the lines. I mean, you were playing well on the sitter off and herd line. He made a change and it really worked. And I get the feeling that maybe Barry's going to, maybe play with herd again. You never know, right? Because some of these guys are so talented. You move them around and it might catch fire. Do you have a favorite thing away from the rink in Scotland? Like, I know a lot of the guys love to golf. Is there something, what's your favorite thing about Scotland so far?
Oh, the weather. Nah, just kidding. Man, I don't know. Actually. Favorite thing. Trying to think. I have been kind of liking haggis. We get haggis in some of our meals, peppercorn chicken with haggis. I actually don't mind it, so I'll say that.
But you have to be willing to try new things, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and hockey takes you all over the world, whether it's Slovakia or whatever, Sweden. You have to try these different things. So I'm glad you said haggis because it's something that people you go, no, I'm not trying that, but it is. It actually is quite good.
Yeah, it is. With the chicken, it's actually pretty nice.
And certainly your fiance will be thinking you should have said getting engaged is your favorite thing about Scotland. So maybe you keep her away from watching this interview so you don't catch any flack for
Yeah.
that. But I think when you look at it, it is a good group, and I find it sometimes perplexing that we're in eighth. But I also find myself thinking every morning, geez, there's a lot to look forward to because I just feel like there's another chapter to be written here. Is there still that sort of belief in the camp, if you will? Because it is what it is. You're an eighth, you're out of the cup. A couple of disappointments along the way, but it seems to be a team that doesn't give up no matter what the score is, or even when there's guys getting tossed out of the game with penalties and stuff. It just seems to be a team that battles to the end. And I know Corey wanted guys that competed and cared, and I certainly believe he has that in the room.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on last place teams that you can just tell guys don't care or the effort's not there some nights. And I can't think of one night where the effort was just not there at all. I think there's always guys that some nights are off, some nights are on, like that's going to happen. But I think as a group, like you said, everyone cares. So when you have that, I think anything's possible and we could get hot at any time. I think we won 8, 9, 10 in a row earlier in the year against some good teams. So just keep chipping away and can't get too high, can't get too low.
Like we said, short memory and keep it even keel. We touched on the Purple Army there, and you said you love the boisterousness of the crowd. Do you have a direct message to the Purple Army as we head into, like you said, it feels late in the season, but there's still like 20 games to go here. Do you have a message for the faithful as we head into this hopeful long playoff run?
Just we're doing everything we can. You know, we want results just as much as you guys do, and when it doesn't go well, we feel for you, and we're, like I said, doing everything we can to win. That's all we're focused on. That's our job. So everyone in that room cares. Corey cares tremendously. Mike cares. And all we care about is winning. So we're going to try our best to do that.
Cole Ully, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule. You're doing airport runs for fiancés. You're trying haggis. You're doing it all there this evening. 17 goals, 16 assists, 33 points to lead the Glasgow Clan as we record this. Keep her lit, buddy, and we'll see you this weekend.
Sounds good. Thanks.